on encoding, on formats getting into the camera, on RED, on work processes, on other things. Do you want to start off by questions? Because I've almost run out of talking about H.264.
This is a bit left field, but how is your production path going for your RED raw files? I know that
Incredibly well.
yes, I know that Apple are updating, like in Final Cut, they're actually giving you more options in the log and capture window.
I'll forget about all that.
Yeah. So what sort of process are you using now with the raw files? How do you?
We convert the raw. We do a traditional offline and online.
Yeah.
So you know, there's the.
So are you using the wrapped files at all?
No,
You're not
absolutely
using
not. No,
Right.
there's several reasons for not using those. One, as an editor, I can't handle my system crawling to, you know, these are 16 gig RAM, 8 core Macs with, you know, good graphics cards. You can't load them up much more than that. And you start using those proxies and, you know, start adding a couple of layers and resolve in a graphic and the system comes to a screaming halt.
Oh, okay.
Not a screaming halt, but it's not as, you know, not as responsive as I'd like to edit. The proxies can also be corrupted down on set. They're not super reliable. I don't look that great. Generally, I avoid them like the plague. Just don't use them. We transcode everything. We always put time in the schedule to transcode it. We transcode it at quarter res at power, because that's what we offline at. It looks brilliant. There's nothing wrong with quarter res because it's coming from 4K. If you look really closely, yes, on certain verticals and high contrast things, you will get slight aliasing on your edges. It is an offline.
What are you using to do that? Is that
Red
like
brushes.
red brushes?
Red brushes, yeah. Which is pretty
So you
reliable
don't use
now.
the log and transfer window?
Absolutely not. You're tying up Final Cut. You know, to me, I work a little bit differently in here, is in the sense that we've got spare computers for one.
Right.
And even in red brushes now, you can actually limit how many processes it's using, which will obviously take longer. But if you're on an 8 core, you can say, okay, use half the processes.
Yeah.
Red brushes is running in the background, bring up Final Cut. As each clip's finished, I can be bringing them in, starting to sync them or do
Yeah.
selects or do everything. If I'm tying up Final Cut,
Yeah.
I've got to sit and wait for it all to finish before I can start editing.
No, that's not the case.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can actually work as one finishes, it goes up, and you can start working on the timeline as it keeps transcoding. At least I've found that anyway.
That's changed because that's not how it started. We ditched it all together at the start for that reason.
Actually, I'm just thinking that the one
I've
I
just-
this year was like that as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's much better because that's definitely changed. But I would still rather have my. I mean, the other thing is I don't use the computer I'm editing on to transcode anyway. So transcoding will be happening upstairs,
Yeah.
and we're on a stand here, so I can just come down here and freely edit.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason why we don't do it in Final Cut. But the original log and transfer that they brought out didn't actually do that. And I still don't think with log and transfer anyway. Unless they've changed that as well, that you can actually allocate certain processes.
No.
So it's going to
No,
be
you
trying to hit every single process as hard as it can.
Yeah.
And if you go, okay, well, I've got so much footage to go through and it's going to be 3 hours of transcoding, and also I'm trying to edit and it's chugging along, then to me, once again, red brushes is a really nice, it's a really simple, easy program to use. You can just drop the clips in, just go bang, done.
Yeah.
And it's reliable. So it works well in that sense. Do my edit, create an EDL. The only reason why we create EDLs over XMLs is because our big online systems still use EDLs, like have a DS. Still nothing wrong with an EDL. It's got an in-point, it's got an out-point, it works. Yes, you should avoid speed changes and stuff like that, but that's the life of EDLs. Basically from there is several different packages out there to convert your EDL or XML into your final, whether it's QuickTimes or DPXs and that sort of stuff. There's a program called Crimson. There's a program called Rubber Monkey.
Monkey
Monkey Extracted. Oh, it's called Rubber Monkey. No, Monkey Extract. Monkey Extract. Both very good programs, both have their pros and cons. Starts to get really technical on their pros and cons. And so does Red at this point. And that's simply because, and this is, it's not just individuals out there, it's actually been full post houses actually extracting Red to its full quality, and the whole gamut of its colour is quite a mathematical equation. Post houses are starting to catch up. The post houses that got it right probably from the start, well, we teed up a little bit with DigiPix because they've done DIs before and they do film scanning and they understand logarithmic scales. If you want to get the true quality out of Red, you've actually got to work in a log space, which is another whole ball game because you start working with lookup tables, calibrated monitors, different colour space, 444 RGB, like it gets pretty complex. And then also we got cameras, so we were able to go out and do a lot of testing with overexposed and underexposed to make sure we're getting everything out of the file. You can simply grab Red, you know, do your offline, convert your online, do your online, and that's fine, and if all the pictures look great. But if you want to reach right into those clouds that are blown out or a window that's blown out and all that, it's another whole ball game, which is...
So if you just do want to do kind of a straight online, say you're on a project that doesn't have the biggest budget in the world and doing a simple grade, what would you then do after you've done your cut? Do you then reconnect?
Probably the simplest way, it's certainly not how we're working here, but the simplest way would probably be to convert the Red files back to a QuickTime, not a DPX workflow, because you probably find that most of your drives and computers won't handle speed goes and playability. Final Cut Pro also can't conform DPXs because it doesn't support anything but QuickTime.
Right.
So QuickTime is probably the best to stay in. Then you've got the issue of what colour space you work in QuickTime. I would probably still suggest staying at 8-bit 422 because you've got the least amount of colour gamut shifting and issues with Final Cut. Unfortunately, you are losing a fair bit of colour information as far as gradability goes.
Right.
I'd conform it in. I'll probably do it in a Rec 709 space, which is probably your safest if you don't understand about log scales. I'll send it to colour, colour grade it, I'll send it back.
Right.
Right, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that workflow.
Yeah.
You just got to remember you're actually missing out on a hell of a lot of shadow information, a hell of a lot of highlight information. But to get that extra information, it's a pretty, not that I'm trying to scare anybody, but it's actually a pretty big step up as far as workflow goes.
Yeah.
Lookup tables, logarithmic scales and all that, to work in that way, which is how they do feature films and DIs, to actually start learning about all that sort of stuff and 3D LUTs and all that. I spent 6 months and I had a very sore head for 6 months trying to understand how a 3D LUT worked.